What is going on, guys? Straw Hat Brian. I'm back again here to deliver my One Piece chapter 892 for you guys. If you haven't read it yet, I suggest you do so now because spoilers are going to be in this video, bruh. I waited all day and all evening for this chapter and it's finally come out, so we about to get in and review this bad boy. So, cover story, we got to talk about the cover story. And ain't much happened in this cover story. Leo got a new ship and he got it from Dressrosa. And it's shaped in the image of Usopp. Or maybe that's just a translation, and then maybe they actually built it. But it looks like it was given to them, because they were all supremely happy. But good for you, Leo. Got a new ship, man. Good job. So, and he decided to become a pirate. Good for Leo. And good for Usopp. He's doing things out here. He's inspiring people. So, on to this chapter. So, chapter starts off, we got Sanji. He's arriving with this cake. Big Mom is like, oh snaps, I smell this cake. Now my attention is focused. I'm about to go get that. And so, she's going to go get that. And Sanji and Capone are having a conversation. Capone compliments Sanji on his crew and their strength and being like, man, I'm surprised you guys survived this long. I commend you for surviving this long, especially with your crew not even having a captain present. So, applaud to the Straw Hats, man. Got to tip your hat off to them. And scene moves over. So, Parasparrow, he's conflicted because he's like, what am I going to do? I got to change my game plan because he believes the cake is poison, but he also knows that Big Mom's not going to stop rampaging until she eats this cake. And he was thinking about destroying the cake. If he destroys the cake, then Big Mom's definitely going to kill him. And then somehow if Big Mom dies from eating the cake, then the Big Mom pirates are just in a heap of trouble. So he's conflicted. He doesn't know what to do. The scene then moves back over to Capone, and he's still planning to assassinate Big Mom. So he's telling Sanji, like, look, man, like, we already talked about this. We gonna handle this from here. This is our bargain. You know what I mean? You go do what you gotta do. Go reunite with your crew. We gonna take over things because we still plan on killing Big Mom after all this is done. They still plan on assassinating Big Mom and taking out Big Mom, making a name for themselves after all this has gone down. And they failed the first time. Bro, that's amazing. But maybe Capone, this is right where he wants her. Like, this is probably like, you know what I mean? Like, he's got all the luck in the world right now. He's the ultimate opportunist right now, other than Blackbeard, because Blackbeard is literally the ultimate opportunist. But we're not going to get into that. That's a discussion for another video. So, we see that Capone, his plan is to lure Big Mom away with the cake and take Sanji and reunite Sanji with the Straw Hats and basically resume their second phase of this game plan. Because first initial part of the game plan was to make the cake and get it to Big Mom. Now the second part is to actually make it to Coco Island, get Luffy, and dip back out and make it out to sea and escape Big Mom's territory. And it's going to take them 3 hours from their current location to make it to Coco Island. They got a lot of planning to do. And the Thousand Sunny is pretty much wrecked. And Sanji pretty much also recognized, like, yeah, like, you guys basically have been going through it. He's like, I'm thankful that, and he's surprised too that they've survived for so long. And so Sanji asks his crewmates, he's like, so what of Pedro and Carrot? So we got to see that Pedro, Sanji wasn't here, he was making the cake. Pedro, basically, he exploded. Well, he sacrificed himself and did a suicide bombing. And, maybe he might not be dead because judging off the way that this whole conversation played out, we all know the way that Oda likes to do things. He likes to play with your mind and make you think a character is dead. And they could go, like we saw Pell, again, from Alabasta. Even though he is a Zoan-type Falcon Devil Fruit user, he took a whole suicide bombing to, like, the grill, dude, and survived. So maybe Pedro can do the same thing. I don't know. But Brook lies to Sanji, and he's basically tells Sanji, like, yeah, Carrot and, and Pedro are both, they're sleeping in the quarters, the crew quarters. So, don't even worry about it, you know what I mean? But for now, let's just focus on what's going on right now. And so then the scene shifts back over to Parasparrow and and his brother, and they're going to pursue Capone because Capone is like, yeah, you know what I mean, just go chase the Straw Hats, don't even worry about us. And Paris Sparrow's like, bro, I know your game plan. You still plan on killing Big Mom. We're gonna stop you, and we're gonna kill the Straw Hats. So he tells Smoothie like, okay, you need to ship out, go handle the Straw Hats, and we are actually going to, like, you keep chasing them, we're gonna go chase Capone. And so scene shifts over. We get to see Smoothie and her two. I'm assuming they're triplets. I'm assuming those are, well, they're siblings, but I'm assuming those are her other twins. So it's Cinnamon and Citron, and now you have Smoothie. So I'm guessing they all have some kind of liquid based devil fruit abilities, judging by their off of their name alone. And that's kind of like how Oda's been doing it. Like Cracker, he has the biscuit fruit, you know what I mean? So it's like they'll have their name kind of deals slightly with their devil fruit abilities, more or less. So, you know, after that, scene shifts back over. The scene constantly has been changed, so we're getting just a bit of like perspective from each character that is participating in this arc, from both the Big Mom pirates and the Straw Hat pirates. So the Straw Hats, you know, Jinbei's explaining to the Straw Hats that, look, Big Mom now suddenly, like, they recognize our strength. So now this is like actually the hardest part. We have a damaged ship, and then we're going to have to sail to Coco Island, and there's a large fleet surrounding the island that is waiting for us. And we still have to meet Luffy, and we don't know when or where he will show up. And then the scene shifts back over again, and the Big Mom pirates, Oven, he's taken, you know, lead of, you know, everything that's going on around the fleet of that's surrounding Coco Island. And now he's giving the order. He's like, yo, what we gonna do is we tell everybody on Whole Cake Island, destroy all your mirrors, throw them into the ocean. He was like, whatever Straw Hat Luffy cannot make it out of the mirror world and meet his crew, we will capture them. And he only wants to leave one mirror untouched, and that is the one that leads right to Coco Island, right where he is standing and a bunch of other Big Mom pirate members are standing. So somehow the Gurma's got to come in, the Sun Pirates got to come in, like Shanks probably got to come in, somebody's got to come in and save the day, because it is too crazy right now, and the Straw Hats are just barely hanging on. And when this gets animated, best believe it is going to be like, you're going to be on the edge of your seat, like, oh my god, I hope these guys make it out of this alive. So next scene shifts back over to what everybody was waiting for, Katakuri and Luffy. And even though it was short and it was 2 pages, but yo, Katakuri is demolishing Luffy. Like, I've never seen Luffy really struggle. Like, okay, like what I love about One Piece and what it's doing, like, yeah, you got characters that get beat up and whatever, but seriously, like, Luffy for several hours is fighting Katakuri, and who knows when the last time he is actually eaten, but he is getting demolished. Like, he is catching these hands left and right. Katakuri is like, bro, you want to mix? I'm gonna give you these hands. I'm gonna give you these hands times 10. Kaioken times 10. Bro, like, Luffy just bleeding, his face all bruised up. Like, I feel bad for Luffy, and I'm like, yo, like, somebody come save this man. Somebody, like, come get him out of this, because they, like, he's clearly bitten off more than he can chew. And I think this might really get Luffy to understand, because even if he might somehow beat Katakuri or even overwhelm Katakuri even for just a short moment, he has to understand that this is a shattering, this should be shattering to his pride, because he always thinks that he could just fight off whoever, and like no matter who it is, he could just kick their ass, and you know what I mean, it's just gonna be good after that. But like, this is basically like Marineford all over again, where he's just like, yo, I gotta get stronger, because even though I think I'm strong, there are still some people who are just stronger than me. And now that Luffy's finally realizing this, it's like, bro, you clearly have bitten off way more than you can chew. And what I love at the end of this, because you seem like you're like thinking like, okay, Luffy's about to do something, And then Katakuri's kind of worried because he's like, yo, maybe Luffy might actually have a 1 in a million chance of actually beating me. But then before he even like sees Luffy trying to get an advantage, he just acts. So he uses Mochi thrust and seemingly piercing Luffy. I don't really know, but clearly it's done damage, and you just see Luffy screaming in pain. And that's how the chapter ends, with the words of deep regret. So maybe Luffy at this point is regretting making this decision, and maybe he might understand that Zoro is right. And I guarantee that there are going to be some major losses. Other than, Pedro, I think there's going to be some other significant losses that's going to happen. And I think that's going to fuel the catalyst even more for Zoro opting to lead the crew during the Wano Kuni arc. Although that might just be a repetition of Whole Cake Island and what's going on with Sanji, it would be two different scenarios. So I'm honestly like, that was the end of the chapter. But honestly, like, I'm worried for Luffy. I'm hoping the Germa comes in. I'm hoping some retcon comes in. I mean, not retcon, but I'm hoping some kind of Deus Ex Machina comes in and saves Luffy, because right now, like, he's bound to lose. Like, the Straw Hats right now they're doomed to fail. You know what I mean? So it's what is going to happen next. And, somehow they got to make it out of this. Somehow. I just want to know how. Honestly, I got to rate this chapter a solid 4.5 out of 5 because it was good. It's setting up for even something that's even more amazing. We want to know what's going on with Luffy. We want to know what's going on with the Germa. We want to know what's going on with the Sun Pirates. We want to know if there's going to be any other last minute characters that are just going to be introduced into the story, and then we're just going to get a, oh my god, WTF, what is going on, bruh? So I can't wait, man. I can't wait. So this is Straw Hat Brian. This is my review of One Piece chapter 892. I suggest you check it out, man. It's a good read. You guys have a wonderful night. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for more. Chat with me in the comment section down below. Again, have a good night.